In today's video, I'm going to walk you through my top 5 mistakes that new FBA sellers make. So if you want to learn what those are, stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, as I said in the intro, we're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes that new FBA sellers make. So without further ado, let's get straight into them. And by the way, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. It'll really help me out. Cool, right, so let's go through the first ones, and I've got them in my notes here. And let me just change the talking head. Cool, and let me full screen this as well. So the first thing that people make the biggest mistake on is buying and not understanding the sales rank and the velocity of a product. So this is one here that one of my VAs found very early on in their sort of career. And you know, I can't remember what the buy price was, somewhere around sort of £8 maybe. So initially he's like, wow, this looks really good. We can make an £8 profit, you know, looks really great. But one thing he failed to realise, and if I zoom in here so we can see this a little bit better, the one thing he failed to realise is the BSR, the sales rank of this item was 128,000, and it has an estimated sales of 2 per month. Now that is really, really low. And if we go down and look at the drops per month, this gives you an idea of how many sales there are as well. You know, this one says 2.7, so we're looking at around 2 to 3 sales a month. Now, is this really an item that you want to be buying that only sells 2 or 3 a month? The answer is no, basically. Although realistically, one thing you do want to look at is how many sellers there are. So right now we have 1 seller at this price. So with this 1 seller here, and if you jumped in as well, you'd expect to split those 2 sales a month and make 1 sale a month each. So this is the first mistake people make, is just not buying items that have a high enough velocity or high enough sales rank. And like I say, you can see this in seller amp on the left by looking at the estimated sales, looking at the sales rank, and also you can then also look in Keeper as well and see what the sales rank is in grocery. So you can see here it goes anywhere from 50,000 all the way up to 170,000. Cool, so that's the first mistake. The second one is buying items that are currently going through a brick cycle. What we've got here is a good example of one that I've bought and made a massive mistake on. And that is, yeah, this item is absolutely bricking. So if you were to look at this product now, and let's say you weren't buying it for £14.31, but maybe you're buying this for £10, or even, let's say £5, and you think, wow, this is a great profit. You need to start looking at the Keeper charts, understanding how this product is reacting to new sellers jumping on board. Now, originally, this looked like an absolutely rock solid product, and it lived at $35.99 for years, for ages basically, with the occasional dip down. But we can see here that this product, yeah, lived at £36. However, as soon as the sellers jumped on, and you can see this down here, as the new seller count goes up from 5 to 6 to 7, all the way up to sort of 30, you can see the price just absolutely collapses. Now, you don't want to jump in on this, even if you can get this for £5, because although the price looks like it's stabled out, it could end up dropping more. And if we look at this trend, if more people jump on this, the price is going to keep on falling. And this is a great, actually, example of how you kind of see the supply and demand curves happening, where you see a huge increase in supply. Again, not necessarily supply and demand, but you see a huge increase of supply here, and how the price absolutely drops. And that's because the demand isn't necessarily going up for this product, although it might do as the price goes down. But you can see here this great correlation between the price and the number of sellers jumping in, and you're seeing people absolutely bricking this item. So this is not an item you want to jump into, especially if you're looking at it now. Now, when I jumped into this, it was, you know, if we kind of eliminate the rest of that chart and we go to the year, when I jumped into this, it looked like this, and it looked really stable. And it's like, you know, I look at this and go, oh, it's £36, it lives at £36, it's all great. But I really should have understood that because this lead came from a COP group, came from a Discord group, that it was going to absolutely brick, and it bricked even more than I ever expected. It absolutely crashed. So it's always good to try and get in early. If you can get in early on the graph, that's great, but you don't want to be getting in late on this graph here. So As you can see, if we go back to year, you're only getting early, but not in getting late. So yeah, mistake number 2, buying items that are currently bricking. Cool, right. The third one is not necessarily one I can show you on the screen, but maybe I'll go back to the full screen camera. And that is taking shortcuts with Amazon. And I see people all the time talking about either sending in, maybe not so much counterfeit goods, but people talk about, sending in counterfeit goods. That's just a massive no-no. You don't ever want to do that. You don't want to ever take any shortcuts with Amazon. So there was a glitch in the past. It was a glitch, or I'm not sure exactly what it was, but where you could send a blank invoice to get ungated for products, and Amazon would allow it. I just didn't ever do this. I'd never recommended anyone do this because it was obviously some sort of glitch, and you don't want to risk your Amazon account by taking any kind of shortcuts. And the same happens for sending in damaged products, or just taking any kind of shortcuts. Making your own invoices is a terrible one. Never do that. That can get you banned. Basically, don't take any shortcuts with Amazon. The opportunity is too great to risk your account. And Amazon are fairly strict when it comes to banning people, and it's really hard to get your account unbanned. So definitely don't take any chances when it comes to your Amazon account. Treat it like it's something very fragile and it's something that needs to be looked after, and don't take any shortcuts. Do everything 100% above board, and yet you should be fine. Cool. The next one is worrying about making a huge profit in the first year. Now, I have a good saying that I got from another YouTuber, and that is, the first year is for learning and the second year is for earning. And I think this is a great saying, or for Amazon. And that is, in your first year, yes, you do want to make some profit, fine. I'm not asking you to make a loss here. But what you want to do is really concentrate on spending time learning. And what do you need to learn? You need to learn, one, how to source properly, and that comes on to my next point in a minute. And how to read keeper charts like this one here. How do you actually read a keeper chart? And learning the fundamentals of the business, and sending products in and getting that feedback back on sometimes the products will brick, sometimes they won't. Sometimes you'll not buy enough of a product, sometimes you buy too few. So these are, I'm just looking at my notes here to make sure I've not missed anything. These are all things that you're going to learn, and the only way you can learn is by having experience of doing it. So, buy a variety of products. One of the things you'll learn is not every product is equal. Some products have really high return rates. Some products have really low return rates. Some products are more likely to have a stable price, and other ones are more likely to brick. So just an example would be electronics have a ridiculously high return rate that I find anyway. People buy these things and I guess they just either have regret on buying them, or they just don't like how they worked and they send them back. They have high return rates. Nothing compared to things like clothing. Clothing has a really high return rate, obviously. People buy different sizes, they don't fit. And then other things have much lower ones. And then other certain things like health and beauty tends to be the most heavily sourced category. So it's the one that generally collapses in price before any other ones. So you need to learn all this basically. And use that first year for learning basically. And then worry about making the big profits in the second year. Cool. So the fifth tip is going to be not actually putting in the time to learn. And this comes back to the previous one. You need to set aside a decent amount of time every day or every week, sitting down, looking through products, looking through these keeper charts, understanding sales ranks, understanding sales cycles. What happens to a product, if people jump onto it? Is it a resilient product, or is it a very fragile product when it comes to the price? You need to spend time sourcing as well, understanding the different sourcing methods. You need to, again, put an hour or two every day into sourcing so you can become an expert at it. You can't expect to be good at anything right away. And some people seem to, really think they can jump into this and source immediately. It's not that easy. You need to understand what sites sell what products go on sale, what are the sales cycles, what what sites have discount codes, and you learn all these things through experience. And then it's just understanding the different sourcing methods as well, like reverse stalking, storefront stalking or reverse sourcing. Is an okay method, but understanding what the pros and the cons are of that, and you only understand that by actually doing it over time, and practicing it, and then you've got Keeper Product Finder, etc., etc. So yeah, just not putting in the time and expecting results really quickly. Amazon's one of these businesses that I think it's slow to start, but it does scale and goes up. It's like the hockey stick, I think, and it just accumulates and accumulates as your knowledge and experience accumulates. But it's very slow and to begin with until it really, I'm not sure if this is showing up properly, my hand there, but the sort of hockey stick graph basically, I think, and it's kind of an exponential thing once you get started, but it does take time to start. So yeah, that's the 5th tip. And one final bonus tip for you guys is, and a shameless plug here, is not understanding what your goals are, and not having your admin set up correctly, and understanding, staying on top of your admin. So let me just check my notes here. So yeah, not being organized, basically. Keeping track of everything that you've ordered. That's a very important thing. So you can then go back and then buy your replens, understand what you've ordered, see the profit over time. Will be one thing. Keeping track of all your invoices as well. Keeping track of uploading those to your accountant. It's really good to get these things, these systems in place early on, and that way you're not scrambling later on once you're doing 10, 20 orders a day, and trying to figure out a system for your organization then as well. And then also as well, just trying to set yourself some goals as well, like using Amazon Seller, for example. Firstly, you can track all your purchases on here. You can track the invoices as well. Where's your where in a deal cycle have you got the invoice? Have you requested it? Have you received it? Have you uploaded it to your accountant? You can track all that in Amazon Seller. You can track all your purchases as well. So what you've ordered, what's been delivered, any things that have been returned, have you been refunded? All that kind of stuff needs to be tracked, and you can do it in a spreadsheet, no problem at all, or you can use something like Amazon Seller. And then finally as well, you can set your goals as well. So you can see here, you can set your daily profit, weekly profit, monthly profit, yearly profit. And every time you put an order into the system, it'll add to the profit. And this way, if you want to make £5,000 a month, you need to be doing, as I've set it up here, £250 profit a day, assuming that you're doing Monday to Friday, so 5 days a week. So that gives you a weekly profit of £1,250 and a monthly profit of £5,000 and a yearly profit of £60,000. So you can then, as you add your purchases in, you'll see here, I've added in one purchase here where I made £8.75 profit, and that goes towards my daily goal and my weekly goal and my monthly goal, and then it adds on to my yearly goal. And this way you can keep track of all your goals for the year and see how you're progressing towards them. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It's a little bit different, I guess. I'm a bit more energetic, trying to give a bit more energy across. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate the like, the subscribe. Leave me a comment. Did you like the video? Didn't you like the video? What tips do you think would be good for people doing FBA, new people and existing people? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.